Whether you are a Christian, a skeptic, or a seeker, I hope you read this book carefully. It is more than an accessible introduction to the Christian faith. It is packed with truths that may well change your life. This is good news, and I'm excited you'll get to read about it. Peter Scazzero, founder-president of Emotionally Healthy Discipleship and author of Emotionally Healthy Spirituality and The Emotionally Healthy Leader.
An invitation to a spiritual journey. I moved to New York City on September 5th, 2001, brimming with anticipation to begin life post-college in what I deemed the greatest city in the world. The previous summer, I had spent 2 months in New York volunteering at soup kitchens and kids clubs throughout the city, an unforgettable experience that left me eager to move back. I accepted an internship at a church in Central Queens, one that was doing wonderful work serving under-resourced communities and immigrant families. I had to fundraise my own living expenses and bought a one-way ticket from Los Angeles to New York City, full of earnestness for the adventures I knew awaited me. The day after my arrival happened to be my birthday, and I didn't celebrate alone. My twin brother, Peter, had also moved to the city a few weeks earlier to start law school. I couldn't imagine a more ideal 22nd birthday. People watching in Washington Square Park, eating a perfectly heated $1 pizza slice, sitting next to Pete as New Yorkers from all walks of life bustled about. It was an unusually pleasant afternoon compared to the humid days that often mark the end of summer. It had just the right amount of sun, breeze, and shade. Life was beautiful. 5 days later, on September 11, 2001, terrorist attacks changed the city and the world forever. It was a cataclysmic event, one so firmly anchored in the American psyche that most of us have a ready answer when someone asks, "Where were you when 9/11 happened?" For those of us living in New York City, it wasn't just the day or the week of 9/11 that looms large in our memories. It was the weeks and months that followed. Subway rides were crowded yet eerily quiet. The distinctive smell of smoke and ashes permeated the air. Colorful street displays at Ground Zero offered support and remembrance for firefighters and police officers as many first responders struggled through waves of trauma. The city was filled with underlying feelings of helplessness and confusion, each of us wondering when or if life would get back to normal. Pete and my 22nd birthday quickly slid into a distant memory. I felt frightened to live in New York and overwhelmed by the grief and anger that enveloped the city and the whole country. My life quickly went from beautiful to disappointing. You've probably experienced something similar, a promising start that got interrupted by a harsh dose of reality. Maybe for you, it was a relationship that blossomed into something blissful, only to turn to sadness when that person moved away. Or perhaps a job that seemed to offer everything you ever wanted in a vocation, until the company initiated a round of layoffs and your role was one of the casualties. Or maybe a church you loved to be involved in, until unwise leadership decisions splintered the community. Life is beautiful, and life is also disappointing. Part of the universal human experience is the tension between beauty and disappointment. The two exist hand in hand, and an enduring question for us is, how do we make sense of the two? Or put another way, where do we find meaning amidst a tug-of-war between beauty and disappointment? We can ignore the ills of the world and focus on the positives, or we can adopt a constant melancholy mindset, drowning in discouragement or cynicism. Either option seems untenable because each would dismiss a genuine segment of our lived experience. It's not just religious people who wrestle with these themes, it's everyone. We're all looking to find coherence within our capricious reality as it fluctuates between feeling buoyant and depressing, depending on the day or season. A year after the Twin Towers collapsed, I read a newspaper article titled "Belief and Disbelief After the 9/11 Attacks." The write-up featured interviews with people across the religious spectrum, atheists, agnostics, and believers, and found that in the wake of 9/11, a higher number of people admitted they had begun to pray. And that